So at the end of the day, when you're reviewing your budget, when you're getting ready to create your budgets for 2024, you have to take into account like, hey, I'm going to need to increase this by at least 30%. Hi friends, welcome to Moms and Money, where we talk about making money, managing money, and saving money for the women in the household. Well, my friends, today we're going to talk about the rising cost of groceries. If you've been living under a rock, or maybe you don't do the grocery shopping in your house, you don't know, but groceries are really expensive. And I'm not talking just like a little bit, I mean a lot of it. As a matter of fact, on my other channel, Marriage and Motherhood, I filmed two videos, one from Costco and one from Aldi, comparing the prices of the groceries of the same exact product that's the same exact size from pre-pandemic. I went back to 2020 before the pandemic. Both videos that I compared were both in February of 2020, I believe, to now, which is January of 2024. I mean, the fact that 2020 was 4 years ago is like crazy to me. It's like wild the way time just goes by so fast. Anyway, comparing how much more we're spending for the same exact items 4 years later. Now, if you're interested, you can watch these videos. You can tap this eye right here to watch them. I knew groceries were up, but I definitely did not know it was up by that much. According to Forbes.com, the predicted inflation rate for 2024 is going to be 2.5%. Okay, which is wild to me because these prices compared from February 2020 to January 2024 are way more than 2.5%. On average, I won't give you all of the amounts because like I said, if you want to see the details of that video, go watch those videos. But on average, things were increased by like 30%. I'm talking butter was a 50% increase, foil 50% increase, eggs 47% increase, like snacks and cookies and stuff like that were anywhere from 25% increase to a 40% increase. Hawaiian rolls, a 72% increase. I mean, it is like crazy. You don't think about it because the stuff is still like under $5, like some of the stuff, like of course nothing from Costco is under $5, but when I looked at the Aldi stuff, like their cookies, the Aldi brand of cookies, you know, their off-name brand in Aldi, those cookies and pretzels and chips like that, you think you go from spending like $1.59 for something like Hawaiian rolls or a pack of cookies to now $2.75. You think, well, it's only like $1 and some change, but that adds up. That percentage, when you look at it percentage wise, is a whole lot more. Because last time I checked, corporate America was not giving 20, 30, 40% raises year after year. So it really makes you think like, wow, I'm spending so much more for the exact same items just 4 years later. Now, another thing you need to look at when we're talking about grocery prices is the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. It basically says, like, it gives you a standing point of how much consumers are paying for certain goods and services, right? Now, groceries, I feel like the Consumer Price Index peaked at its highest it's ever been since they've been tracking it since 2003, back in 2022. So when you look at this chart right here, you'll see that the pink line represents the cost for food at home, which is essentially groceries, without you eating out. The green line is just the overall CPI for all goods and services. As you can see, in December of 2022 is when that cost of food really peaked so high. I think that's where we saw the biggest jump. I mean, it is starting to come back down a little bit, but it's not nearly where it was, at least in 2020. According to this chart, it looks like it's about the same as what it was in 2020. But when I went into these stores, girl, myself, and looked at the same exact items, the same exact size of the products, it's crazy. As a matter of fact, some of the products, especially the toilet paper from Costco, okay, actually shrink, which is what we call shrinkflation. It went from having 425 sheets per roll to having 380 sheets per roll. But not only did you get less product, but you also are paying a lot more for that exact same product. As a matter of fact, you're paying 25% more for the Kirkland brand of toilet paper than you were back in 2020. So, and I'm saying all this not to complain or just, you know, whine about it. I'm telling you this to pretty much help you become an informed consumer. I mean, obviously we can't control food and grocery prices, but it's something that we have to use. We're not living off grid, at least the majority of us are not growing all of our food, hurting all of the animals for our meats or hunting for our meats. The majority of us rely on grocery stores to, you know, feed our families. And at the end of the day, if we're educated on this and we see what's going on, obviously we know the prices are more, but now when you put a number to it, it makes you kind of maybe want to spend a little bit extra time trying to shop these sales and trying to get a better deal. Because at the end of the day, that's really all we can do. The best thing that we can do now is to, you know, shop the deals, going to multiple grocery stores. And I used to be one of those people who were like, you know, listen, I'd rather just save my time as opposed to my money like this. I'm just gonna go to Kroger and try to buy everything from Kroger. But now I'm looking at it like, you know what? I don't want to spend 47% more for the exact same item. You know, it's just ridiculous that our spending power just isn't as much as it used to be. And it's taking more money away from our savings, away from our dreams, away from our financial freedom. Okay. And so I'm also bringing this to you all's attention because maybe you're in the midst of creating your new budget for 2024 and you're looking over your spending and how you guys did in 2023 and you're like, oh man, you're maybe beating yourself up because you spent so much money on food. Maybe you feel like you're eating out too much, or you're not cooking at home too much, or you're not shopping the sales enough, when the fact of the reality is grocery prices are up everywhere. It is not you. Okay, I know that the media tries to say, oh, groceries are going down, but I have yet to see them going down. It is not you doing something wrong. This is just the reality of it here. And sometimes it is like, you know, used to say back in the day, we'll save money by just eating at home. But at this point, sometimes eating out, and rather you eat out or you cook at home, it's the same price. Now you may get less at a restaurant, you won't get as big of a portion, but it's essentially like the same price as if you were to buy the groceries and cook it yourself. So at the end of the day, when you're reviewing your budget, when you're getting ready to create your budgets for 2024, you have to take into account like, hey, I'm going to need to increase this by at least 30%. By even shopping in the sales and everything, you're probably gonna have to increase your budget by 30% just to be on the safe side until we see some of the reflection of some of these prices coming down, because girl, it is rough out here. You know, I remember I used to be able to buy my family a week's worth of groceries from Aldi for $40. That was my thing. Like I would be able to go to Aldi, I'd buy a pack of ground beef. Now listen, at that point I was shopping at Costco monthly and I would get a bunch of meats there. But every week I would get fruit for my girls, snacks for them like chips and pretzels or whatnot. And I would get, like I said, fruit, grapes, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, a pack of ground beef, and any other like little odds and ends. And on average, I would get like maybe 15 to 20 items for $40, okay? Girl, that same $40, okay, does not get me much in 2024. Now for those same items, I'm spending on the upwards of about $60, $65 for relatively the same thing. So that's like a 50% increase. To go from $40 to $60, that's a 50% increase. You know, so that when you're sitting at your employer and they're giving you some crap raise like 2 or 3%, that doesn't even cover the cost of living. Because obviously groceries are essential for the majority of the people living in the United States. And to cover groceries itself, that 2 or 3% raise does nothing. And I would definitely bring that up when you're speaking to your employer about raises or anything like that. Like, the cost of living is going up. And since it's most of these corporations who are being greedy by taking a lot of now it's not all the corporations. Of course, there was a lot of things during the pandemic that caused these rises in grocery prices, everything from the cost of gas, tariffs on different imported goods, you know, logistics problems and stuff throughout the pandemic. Which causes the price to increase, but some of it is corporate greed. I'm not gonna lie, some of it is corporate greed, because a lot of the increase goes to the CEO. It doesn't even go to the workers who pretty much run the stores. And that's really frustrating as a consumer. So, like I said, when your boss is sitting up trying to tell you only get 2 or 3%, tell them that doesn't even cover your groceries. It's ridiculous, okay? And that leads me to my next and final and most important point. Okay, now more than ever, we've got to take control of our income. Now, there's only but so much we can do in corporate America, but I've talked about this many times on my channel, that there are ways for you to make money online. And I'm not selling you a dream. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I'm here as a testimony to tell you that it is most definitely possible. Now more than ever, this is Ava's phone. We have the computer at our fingertips. We can literally learn anything with our phones, anything. Okay, and now more than ever, I feel like you've got to invest in creating some sort of another stream of income, because at this point, it is financially irresponsible to rely on one form of income for your family. And that means your income coming from your employer. Okay, because they're only going to give you but so much. And with these rising costs of just standard living, we've got to take control in our own hands and try to come up with different ways and different streams of income. Now, I will have linked in the description box some of my favorite ways to make money online, or to start a side hustle or create a side hustle. I'm going to be talking more about that on this channel in 2024, because I really feel like God is calling me to really share with people how they can do it, and how to really do it, and what you can really do, and how to not, because a lot of it is in our minds and our mindset, and how our minds are set so negatively about creating our own businesses or about starting a side hustle to make extra money. You think it's so hard, or you think you're not smart enough, or you're not good enough, and all these negative thoughts, when in reality, we are more than capable of doing anything we set our heart to. You know, so I encourage you to pray about it, to see what God leads you to do. I'm a Christian, so I speak from a Christian perspective. Pray about it to see what God is leading you to do. And I feel like now is more than ever to start that journey, and we can absolutely start and discuss it together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.